Welcome back, my friends, to Darren Bernard's Poor Boy Crafts. Today we're going to finish up that terrain that we're working on, the Orc Village. We're going to do the houses. That's what I got these things for. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe because you don't want to miss out on that giveaway we're going to be doing in December. And yes, we are going to do it. We have hit our 50 mark and actually went over, but we still want to get some more subscribers out there. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and share it to all your friends because we have a lot of fun here. But right now we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to make some houses for our little orc miniatures. What I'm starting with is grape cherry tomatoes. That's what these come in. The containers. So normally you just throw these away, but we're going to recycle these into little houses. So first thing, I'm going to take them apart. I got a couple here. I got a total of 4. I've kind of already started working on 2 of them, but we're going to start from scratch here. So we're going to take the lids here. Figure out where all the tape and everything is. Get all the tape out of the way. There we go. Get all that tape out of there on both of them because we don't need it in our road. There we go. There we go. Got all that out of the way. There we go. Get that out the way there. Now, see this right here? We're going to use that for the top there. So we're going to take this, turn it around just like this. Take your blade and be very careful. These blades are sharp. Just going to go around the inside of the lid. Oh, didn't quite get it all the way there. That's okay. Don't have to be perfect the first time here. There we go. We're getting it. There we go. Don't need this. Go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. Now what we got is the little lip there. Now we're going to shave all this stuff till it's flat. Doesn't have to be even, as long as it's flat. Don't want any overhangs there. Just like that. Okay. Set that one aside. We'll go ahead and do the other one. All right. Now we got both of them here looking pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to glue them right to the top of this. We got our gun here up. Without our light, no gun. So we got to wait for that to warm up. I'll go ahead and get another stick out. So while that's warming up, I'll get my paint ready. Again, to save, since I'm going to be doing a lot of black paint, I'm just going to use the lid. Real simple. And I don't lose any paint on that. So, got that prepared. Get me a brush. I want to get me a fairly good wide brush because there's a lot of covering to do. Let's see. Are we heated up yet? Well, that's going to take a little bit of time. So, okay, my gun is warmed up. Took a little while. But now what we're going to do is just run a bead of glue all the way around the top here. We're going to take our thing that we cut out. I'm going to hold it in place. There we go. Got it on there. Make sure that it glues down real good. Covers real good. Oh, too much heat. There we go. Now, even though I'm making 4 houses, each house will look a little different. Everything I make always turns out a little different for some reason. So everything's going to be unique. Don't ask me why, it just happens that way. That's art for you. Everything is unique and in its own way. That's the beautiful thing about art. When it's handmade, it's always different. There we go. In place. Good to go. Alright, now we'll go ahead and give that a black base paint. Like that, we'll go ahead and paint all of it and then let it dry. Alright, black coat is dry. Now for the next coat, I'm going to put 2 or 3 different coats of paint on this of different colors just to get a real 3-dimensional color for scheme on this. But so if you notice, I didn't paint all the way down to the bottom because we're going to be cutting that off. But I'm going to use this to hold on to. But I'm going with a granite gray. And like I said, this is my color scheme. Yours can be completely different. But because it's kind of rock style, I'm going to go with a granite base. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it entirely in granite. And then we'll let that dry. Okay, the gray has dried on there, so we're ready for the 3rd color. Now, this color took me a little bit of time to figure out what I wanted. I'm going with the milk chocolate, which is a dirty color, but I'm going to go burnt umber as well. So this kind of blends together. That way, because if you remember right, on our terrain, we got the milk chocolate for the ground. So we want to kind of break it up. We don't want the same color for the buildings. So if we put a little bit of milk chocolate in with the burnt umber, we're going to get a milk chocolate that is just a shade off of the ground, which is what we want. That way we don't have the same 2 colors. We're still going to have the dirt color, but it's going to be a different color than what's on the ground. So that's what we're going for right there. So just kind of mix and match for that. Get my little paintbrush out of here. Now for this paint, we're just going to do a spatch because we don't want to cover the whole thing. We're just going to, just like you're spatching mud on rock. Just like that. And we're going to do that over the entirety of the piece here. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Then we're going to let it dry. Okay, it's not completely dry yet, but it's dry enough down at the bottom where we can go ahead and cut the bottom out. Because it's actually a little too tall for a house for miniatures. Because miniatures are only about yay big. If I had a miniature here, I'd show you. But I'm not exactly sure where it is. But so we're going to go ahead and cut these down. Right about here along this bottom lip here, we have a stone. You can see it all the way around. We're going to go ahead and cut all the way around about that high. That'll give us about 2 inches almost, 2.5 inches, which would be about the right height really for an orc house. Because like I said, this is going to be multiple dwelling homes. So I'm going to take a nice sharp pair of scissors and we're going to come up into it, and we're going to try to follow that around as close as we can. We want to get it as straight as possible. So just follow that line all the way around. Let's see, get that out there. There we go. Now we can follow it straight. Just kind of eyeball it all the way around, just like that. And you should have a nice straight cut all the way around, just like that. See how it goes? That's pretty good straight cut. Now, it's not exactly, it won't be exact, but it'll be good enough. Like I said, art is never exact, but that's what makes everything unique in art. Every piece will be unique. Go ahead and go for the second one here. That off there. And if we have to come back and trim more up, we can do so. But there we go. There's our house is starting. Good. Now we'll go ahead and let them dry up a bit more because we still got a little bit more for them to dry. And we'll be back and we're going to cut out the doors and the windows and be ready to add some finer touches to it. Okay, we got the paint dry on these. So now we're going to make a hole for the door and for a window. Now remember, of course, we are back to, these are orcs, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to try to make a crude opening for a door and a window. So again, be very careful because these are sharp, and we're going to go right onto, again, following the rock contour where we got another, it's about an inch long hoop out here. We're going to go to the top of it. Just poke in. Be very careful with your knife. You'll have to press fairly hard. Make just a little incision. Come across about 3/4 of an inch. Then come down. Watch your fingers on the inside because you're kind of holding it. Now don't come all the way down. We want to leave about a 1/4 inch lip at the bottom. We want to keep the strength of the bottom. Then we'll come all the way over to the other side, bringing it straight down. Again, leaving that 1/4 inch. Watch the fingers. And then we're going to come straight across. This is the tricky part because we don't want to go too far and we don't want to get the fingers. Just like that. And you got yourself about 1 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch hole, which will be your door frame. And then now you can either go anywhere on the whole place to cut yourself out a window. You can have 1, 2. I'm just going to put 1 in it, and you can put it anywhere you want. I'm just going to put it here right beside the door, and I'm just going to make a circular hole. Again, poking in. And I'm just going to bring it around. I'm just going to make about a 1/2 inch hole. Give or take a bit. Just make a little crude hole. Again, watch your, or try not to get your fingers. And try not to cut too deep. Just like that. It don't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be exactly circular. And it doesn't even have to be, I mean, you can have edges on it. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, just a crude hole. There we go. Clean out the inside there a bit. Now we got your hole for your window and your door. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and do the other one. Okay, got the holes and for the window and the door in both of these. So right now I'm going to go ahead and start with the windows. I've taken some round toothpicks and I painted them all burnt umber. Burnt umber is what I painted them. And I'm going to take one of them, grab out my cutters. There's my cutters. And I'm going to kind of cut the tips off of them on both sides. Then I'm just going to cut it in half. That's all I'm going to do to that. Then I'm going to grab my hot glue gun. Put a couple of drops, one top, one bottom. Glue it in there. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the center of that stick. Glue the stick on there. Then to one side, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there to fasten one side of the stick to it. Just like that. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. This is an Orc house. And just going to have it just like that. Now this one here, grab another stick. Another toothpick, do the same thing. Cut it in half. Now this one here, I'm going to kind of do catty corner instead of straight up and down. Just like that. That covers the window. And pretty much that's all there is to the windows. That was pretty easy. Now for the door coverings. Not door coverings. Felt. Handyman's friend. 36 inch by 36 inch craft pack. It's a lot of felt. You won't need this much, but you can get these probably at Walmart back in the where you can get all the material and everything for about $2.97, $3.97 for the package. I got lucky and found this at a yard sale. I got a whole mess of them. I paid for like 25 cents a pack for them. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of felt in one of these things. I just cut out a square, and that's pretty much, I ain't even going to need that much really. But what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to cut me out a square that's going to be about bigger, just about as big for that door opening. Just about like that. And I'm going to cut it to make it look like a drape. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not going to get fancy or anything like that. Sort of just like that. So that'll cover that. We'll cover that whole door frame there. That's a little bit wide, so let's trim that down some. I'm trimming off of this side here. There we go. Let's see if that's better. I like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take another one of my sticks here. I ain't going to cut the tips off of it yet, but I'm going to just kind of slather it in glue, just a bit there. Then I'm going to stick it just like that. I'm going to let that dry a bit. Now I'm going to make that felt look like fur. Now how I'm going to do that is grab my brush. There we go, my wire brush. And just kind of fan it out a bit. Kind of fuzz it up. Now I think it might be a little too long, so let's kind of trim it down some. Yep. There we go. Now if we got it too short, that won't matter much. Yeah, there we go. Now at this point, we can go ahead and clip our ends off. And now we got our door covering. So I'll run some glue right across the opening to the door. And I'll glue just the wood. That way this will hang up a bit. Just like that. Okay? That adds a little bit of texture to that wall. Let's add a little bit more color to this. To this house here. We're going to grab some red. I got some Cardinal Crimson. Yeah, that's the same one that I dropped earlier. I'm going to take myself a little toothpick, and I'm just going to make scratch marks all along this here. Just going to add a little bit of tribal cynicism. If you get real good with the toothbrush, you can actually make circles. X's. Some different letters. Just graffiti it, basically what you're doing. Just graffitiing it up a bit. Just adding a little bit of, and you can put some on the felt itself if you want to. Like I said, this is your craft, so wherever you want to do it, you can put it. There we go. We'll let that sit over and dry, and we'll go ahead and work on the doorway for this one. This one we're going to do a little bit different. Let's make an awning. For that, we're going to need 2 sticks. So we're going to cut out another piece of felt. About 1 1/4 square. This one will make it look like a skin. Now a skin ain't exactly square, so we'll want to kind of cut moon shapes on either side. Top, bottom, and sides. And then square off the ends. Kind of just nip them. You know, make it look like a little skin that someone skinned off a deer or a bear or something of that nature. And take your brush, kind of just fur it up. Now we're going to, without cutting her down any, just kind of glue the stick on the long area. Both ends. There we go. Let that dry. And it don't matter if they're even or not, because this one ain't even, but that doesn't matter. You'll even it up with your cut. Your backside, cut them even like that. And we're going to put glue on the tips in the back. And we're going to attach them right to the door. Just like that. Hold them there till it dries. Should look something like that. There we go. Now, let's take the last two sticks. Now these you want to get close to the same size. These are going to be your brace sticks. Putting glue on both ends. Put one at the bottom and one at your other stick there. That'll keep it from falling. Give it a little bit more strength and gives it a little bit more texture about. A little bit more to stand out there. There we go. Now you can either cut off these points or you can leave them. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it adds a little bit of grandeur to it just leaving them there. Alrighty, now get rid of all that. Last thing we want to do paint wise, get a little black wash. And we're going to go over them. Now we want a heavy black wash on this. So really don't even worry about getting anything off your brush. Just go ahead and just mud your whole thing up here, because that's going to make it look really good when it dries. Set that aside there. Okay. It's going to blend all your colors together. Really good on this one. Used a lot of earth colors, and a good heavy black wash will really blend all them colors together. Okay, we'll wait for that to dry, and we'll be ready to put them on our terrain. Alrighty, we're back with our terrain. We're going to attach these. This is one that I made earlier. I've already attached it, but I will show you how I've done it. We put rocks all the way around it, but this is not glued in place. The rocks hold it in place so that it can be taken off and then put back in. So that when you're running a campaign, they can actually go inside the houses. Now I'm going to show you how to do that, real simple, with the houses here. So we get our rocks. We know where our house is going to be located. And we'll start on the back side here. And we're going to take a rock, glue it in place. Set our house right where the rock is at. Make sure that rock's going to glue in place. There we go. There we go. That rock glued in place good. Good job. Good deal. Then we'll take another rock, go to another corner, glue it in there. Go to another corner, glue it in. Oh. There we go. Once we get it pretty well secured, then we'll go around. And we don't have to be precise where we put them. Just try to keep them snug with the house. To hold it into place. You don't want to get too snug. I think with this one I got a little too snug. It just makes it a little hard to get in and out. There we go. And there we go. Oh, this rock came loose. There we go. And that's pretty much how you lock it in place. And we'll go ahead and lock this other one in place over here. There we go. One in the back. One up front. Ow. Gotta be careful with a glue gun. Glue gun will burn you. Go. Let's see if I can find some more better rocks. Yes, I know my English ain't perfect, but it's all righty for me. There we go. Beautiful. Now let's see if I can snug up the sides here. I'm running out of big rocks.